have been a product of root cause analysis, I would say, since I was about 15 or 16 years old. At the time, I was a student of the 5 whys. So the exercise is you ask, the belief or the principle is that within 5 whys, you can get to the root cause of any issue. As I have evolved throughout my life, I've come into a greater understanding of root cause analysis. And the thing that I'm mostly interested in is the beginning piece where you actually define the problem. And like you were saying, Chuck, about the nitty gritty, the detail, the thing that I want to clearly identify for our audience is that you want to know the who, how, why, what, when, where of it all.
Yep.
I mean, really, really understanding to a great sense how this root or how the problem impacts the end user, how it affects stakeholders, how it affects the audience or the learner, how it affects the managers of the learners. Because so often we go into these challenges being told, like you're saying, Chuck, I have an attitudinal problem, or I have a problem with, this one specific group and we need to train them. But the reality is that 9 times out of 10, training is not the end all solution.
Yep.
So that's the benefit of root cause analysis. Sometimes you end up being the bearer of bad news, which I've also had to do.
No, tell me it's not true.
Right. Yeah.
So Ashley, I'm curious. When you approach root cause analysis, what does your process look like? So to somebody who's new to ISD and to the analysis part of it, what advice would you give to somebody in terms of simplifying a process to be able to get the most out of a root cause analysis? Because you've explained it so well in terms of the benefits. And some people might approach this as overwhelmed or completely just in over their head. Is there a process that you go through when you do root cause analysis that you find helpful?
Well, I mean, it really does follow the scientific method pretty closely, which I appreciate, as long as you start with an initial objective, right? So as long as you're starting with what your stakeholders believe to be the problem, you can then, like Chuck presented in the lesson, you can gather all of the data. And that will usually tell you whether or not that's the actual problem. So you start with the thesis, right? I'm pretty sure that's the thesis statement.
Hypothesis.
The hypothesis, that's the one. Thank you. So you start off with your hypothesis, and from there, that's how you drill down in identifying the who, what, when, where, how, and the why. And you get to those pieces by collecting all of the data, like Chuck said. And usually from that, once you have your initial objective or your hypothesis statement, then you begin peeling away the layers of data. And what is frustrating, Denise, is quick isn't always easiest. And that's the thing that because you had said, what's the quickest way? And I want to distinguish, I don't want you to do it quick.